This year Godzilla will mark 70 years since he made his debut in 1954. To commemorate it, Toho, Legendary and IDW have announced several King of the Monsters projects. Over the decades we have seen various kaijus that have debuted within the Godzilla universe. Some that are extremely popular like King Ghidorah, Mothra or Anguirus. On the other hand, there are other kaijus whose participation in the Godzilla stories is so limited that they are completely forgotten. In this video we are going to talk to you about 7 kaijus from the Godzilla universe that you may not know. Let's start this top with a kaiju that is extremely unknown in America. As such, Dogora has never appeared in a Godzilla film of his own. He debuted in his own film in 1964, which was directed by Ishiro Honda, the same man behind the original Godzilla and many of its sequels. Far from being your typical kaiju, Dogora is not a terrestrial animal creature, but rather a colossal single-celled organism that hovers menacingly in the skies, reaching out with its corrosive tendrils to devour everything in its path. Like Godzilla and many other kaiju, Dogora was created by Toho and has had a few appearances in the Godzilla films, but has never directly faced off against the King of the Monsters. In addition to appearing in his film, the kaiju had a brief cameo in Godzilla Island and in the video game Godzilla, Monster of Monsters for the NES console. The following character comes from the video game, Godzilla Unleashed, and was a creation of Pipeworks Software. Crystalak is a crystalline organism that gained consciousness after a meteor shower threatened to destroy the Earth. This being is resistant to energy weapons thanks to its body composed almost entirely of the crystals of its same name. He is able to create claws and projectiles made from these crystals. Unlike most space kaiju, Crystalak is not related to the Zillions or other alien races, so he is an independent being who seeks to dominate Earth. Despite having a pretty good design, this character has not appeared in any other Godzilla product. Probably because Toho shares its rights with Pipeworks Software. In our video of the strangest versions of Godzilla we talk about the strange mangas of the King of the Monsters that are published in Japan. In these we have seen what may be the character's most bizarre stories. A kaiju we talked about in that video was King Godzilla, a hybrid of King Ghidorah, Batra and Godzilla himself. In this post we are going to talk to you about another kaiju fusion, but one that unfortunately only appeared on a couple of pages. In the Godzilla comic raids again we met Bio Ghidorah, a combination of Biollante and King Ghidorah. In its origin story we are told that a group of aliens propose a plan to rid humans of Godzilla. As we approach the climax, it is revealed that these beings were actually the Zillions and were planning to take over Earth using Ghidorah's power. The dragon was heading towards Earth when it was stopped by Biollante, who had been reborn due to space debris. Ghidorah attempted to eliminate his enemy with his anti-gravity rays, but Biollante managed to absorb part of the kaiju's DNA, obtaining a form similar to that of King Ghidorah. Bio Ghidorah confronted the invader, but even with his new powers, the kaiju was defeated. Since then, this character has not appeared again, remaining in limbo despite being a quite interesting concept for a future rival to Godzilla. In 2023, IDW Publishing brought us a new comic miniseries titled, Godzilla War for Humanity. Here we saw the debut of a new kaiju known as Zoospora, which has a similar appearance to Biollante. Zoospora is a huge bipedal mushroom monster. It has a large mouth and no visible eyes. Its head, chest and back are covered with asymmetrical protuberances in the shape of huge mushrooms. Zoospora has no feet. Instead, the kaiju has several tendrils that resemble plant vines. In his first appearance we can see him attacking the Gorosaurus while other kaijus watch. After entwining Gorosaurus between its tendrils, Zoospora secreted an unknown substance onto Gorosaurus, temporarily paralyzing it before disappearing beneath the earth. The Zoospora spores went crazy and started attacking a city. Zoospora later attacked Manda, who similarly went insane upon being exposed to this kaiju's spores. During a battle with Anguirius, Zoospora demonstrated the ability to regenerate its lost limbs, as well as the ability to secrete a type of acid that melts its opponents. It's time to return to Godzilla Unleashed, because if we talk about Crystalac, it was evident that this kaiju also had to appear. Obsidius is the second original kaiju of this video game. Like Crystalac, this is made up of crystals that came from space. Although most of the crystals deposited on Earth by meteorite showers were embedded in the surface, some of them managed to penetrate the Earth's crust and enter the lithosphere. There, they were brought together by magma currents from within the Earth, giving life to Obsidius, a being created by the union of crystals with the ferrous elements of the Earth. Its exterior is made of practically impenetrable obsidian that protects it against physical and energetic attacks. In addition to demonstrating colossal brute strength, he has the ability to expel lava from his mouth. Within the game, it is considered one of the most dangerous kaiju of all. It's time to move on to the Monsterverse to tell you about Camazotz, a titan who had a brief appearance in the Godzilla vs. Kong prequel comic, Kingdom Kong. Titanus Camazotz was the name given to this monster due to the great resemblance it had to a Mayan deity. Its name means, Bat of Death. It is believed that the Mayans created this deity based on the appearance of Camazotz. According to legend, a cult of the creature began among the Zapotec Indians of Oaxaca, and the figure was later adopted into the pantheon of the Mayan tribe. The cult believed that bats represented night, death and sacrifice, probably due to the fact that they inhabited the caves around sacred cenotes, which Mesoamericans believed were portals to the underworld. Carved in stone by the fearful hands of the ancient Mayans as a warning for the undiscovered future, the myth of the dark titan Camazotz is a nightmarish reality that has cursed the skies of humanity since the dawn of time. Blinded by having lived for millennia in the deepest, darkest caverns of the hollow earth, Camazotz is guided by echolocation, which he uses to find titans and consume their atom-rich blood. In the comic where he debuted, he faced Kong, but was defeated. His second appearance took place in the crossover between the Monsterverse and the DC Universe. Here, Camazotz attacked Gotham City, but was defeated by the Bat family. We finish with another kaiju from the Monsterverse. This being is known as Titanus Methuselah in honor of the biblical figure of the same name, since he is considered one of the oldest titans of all. Members of Monarch gave Methuselah the nickname Archie during his time sleeping on an archipelago in Canada. It was so large that for a long time it was believed that its body was part of the Earth itself. Methuselah was discovered by Monarch near Munich, Germany, and Outpost 67 was built around it. Covered by a forest, it simply appeared to be a mountain in its dormant state. In the official Godzilla, King of the Monsters novel, a German man tells his girlfriend a legend from the Middle Ages just before Methuselah awakens. My grandfather told me he wasn't always there. Instead, there was a village. And then one day, a guy who was traveling through another country came home. The town was gone and that mountain was there. Methuselah was one of the titans that King Ghidorah controlled after waking up, but was put to sleep after Godzilla was named the Alpha Titan at the end of the film. For now, that's all for this video. Tell us if you already knew these kaijus, and if you think there is another monster that we have not mentioned in this list, let us know in the comments box.